Elias was a fisherman by trade and a wanderer by nature. He had spent decades navigating the vast waters, feeling the pulse of the ocean beneath his boat and the salt air on his skin. He knew the seas like the back of his hand, having charted every stretch of coast and noted every island in the region. But one quiet morning, as the sun rose, casting a golden hue across the water, a peculiar glimmer on the horizon caught his attention. It was an island unfamiliar and uncharted. A thrill shot down his spine, a mix of excitement and trepidation coursing through him. Curiosity overwhelmed caution as Elias set his course toward the island. As he drew closer, its pristine beauty came into view. Thick green jungles sprawled across its landscape, ivory white beaches kissed by gentle waves, and a towering cliff that seemed to rise defiantly against the sky. It looked untouched by human hands, a relic of a world beyond time. But before we start, smash the like button, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you never miss out on our upcoming stories. Elias anchored his boat just offshore and, after a deep breath, waded through the shallow waters to the beach. Each step on the soft sand filled him with a sense of reverence and wonder, but also unease. He couldn't shake the feeling that he was being watched. Sure enough, as he scanned the area, a group of people emerged from the edge of the forest, their figures silhouetted against the dense foliage. They were silent and still, their eyes fixed on him with a wary intensity. The group approached him cautiously, their expressions a blend of curiosity and caution. They wore clothing made from natural fibers, practical and well-suited to the warm climate, adorned with vibrant colors that seemed to echo the hues of the island's flora. Among them was a woman who radiated authority, her posture straight and her gaze penetrating. She was clearly their leader, and her calm strength was evident as she sized up Elias, appraising him with eyes that betrayed both intelligence and wariness. "You're not from here," she said, her voice steady and clear like the waves gently lapping at the shore. Elias felt his heart pound but managed to nod respectfully. "No, I was drawn here. I mean no harm." The leader turned to her companions and exchanged hushed words, their murmurs filling the air with an undercurrent of tension. After a few moments, she looked back at Elias, her expression a mix of determination and caution. "Our lives here are protected, sacred in a way you may not understand. We allow no one from the outside. Yet you have found us," she hesitated, then added, "If you wish to prove your intentions are good, you will have to earn our trust." Elias understood the gravity of her words. The modern world often encroached, sometimes violently, upon such isolated places. He sensed that the leader's wariness was well-founded, and he respected it. The islanders gestured for him to follow, leading him through a winding pathway into their village, nestled among towering trees and flowering vines. As he entered, he was captivated by the scene before him. The village was unlike any community he had seen. The air was filled with the sound of rustling leaves, laughter, and the rhythmic clinking of tools. Everyone seemed busy, engaged in various tasks, from mending fishing nets to grinding herbs, while children played around their parents, their laughter echoing through the trees. Elias was struck by the simplicity of it all, the harmony that seemed woven into every aspect of their daily routine. Despite his uncertainty about his situation, he felt an unexpected kinship with them, admiring their commitment to one another and the land they called home. As he observed, a little girl with dark curls and bright eyes approached him, her hands stained with the juice of fresh berries. "What's your name?" she asked, her voice innocent and curious. "I'm Elias," he replied, smiling down at her. "What's yours?" "I'm Layla," she beamed, her eyes wide with wonder. "Can you catch fish like my daddy?" Elias chuckled, nodding. "Yes, I've caught many fish in my time. Maybe one day I can show you." Lila's face lit up with excitement as she grabbed his hand, leading him deeper into the village. They passed by men skillfully casting nets into the sea, their movements fluid and practiced. Women gathered fruits and vegetables from lush gardens, while others crafted tools or mended huts. Each person moved with purpose, and the community thrived in a way that felt instinctual, like a well-tuned machine operating in perfect harmony. The leader approached him again, her expression serious. "We will give you a chance, but you must prove yourself." Her tone was clear, brooking no argument. "If you complete the tasks we give you, we may welcome you. If not," she trailed off, but the implication was unmistakable. That night, Elias lay alone in a small hut, deep in thought. As he settled onto a makeshift bed, the island's gentle sounds lulled him into a light sleep, interrupted by the occasional rustling of leaves and distant calls of nocturnal birds. He knew he was in a rare place, one where time seemed to stand still. In the modern world, places like this were a myth. Here, They were a reality. The memories of his life outside felt distant, almost surreal. The next task was more challenging. The leader handed him a woven basket and pointed to the forest. "Gather these specific fruits and herbs," she instructed, showing him a collection of items he barely recognized. "They have uses in our medicine and food. Bring back only what I've shown you." With a deep breath, Elias ventured into the dense forest. He marveled at the lush greenery surrounding him, vibrant flowers blooming in every direction, their colors vivid against the deep green of the leaves. The air was rich with the scent of earth and growth, and he felt a sense of awe envelop him. But soon he was reminded of the island's wild, unpredictable beauty. The terrain was rough with hidden drops and thorny plants that scratched his arms and legs. Sunlight dappled through the leaves, casting shadows that made it difficult to see the path ahead. The deeper he went, the more he realized how little he knew about this place. The island was not only lush but alive, filled with a sense of mystery and danger. He moved slowly, carefully identifying the plants as best as he could from his memory. More than once he picked the wrong leaves, only to realize his mistake and retrace his steps. The process was exhausting, both physically and mentally, but Elias pushed on, determined to prove himself. Finally, after what felt like hours, he returned to the village, his basket filled with the right herbs and fruits. He could see a glimmer of approval in the eyes of some villagers, but they remained silent, watching him with guarded expressions. Days turned into weeks as Elias lived among the islanders, gradually earning their respect. He observed them closely, absorbing their knowledge and way of life. Some villagers began sharing personal stories, speaking of their reasons for retreating to the island, tales of escape from the noise and chaos of the outside world, the desire to live a life in harmony with nature, and a commitment to their community. Each story gave Elias a deeper understanding of the islanders' values and the strength of their bond with the land. One evening, the leader approached him with a solemn look. "There is one last task," she said. "Find your way back to the beach alone. If you have truly understood our ways, you will succeed." Elias felt his heart sink. He had relied on the villagers to navigate thus far. The dense foliage of the island felt like a labyrinth, and the prospect of finding his way back alone seemed impossible. But he nodded, accepting the challenge with determination. Drawing upon his experiences and the knowledge he had gained, he began his trek through the forest. He focused on the small details, the direction of the wind, the sounds of the birds, the patterns of the undergrowth. Each step was deliberate as he navigated the unpredictable terrain, recalling the markers the islanders had shown him. The calls of certain birds, the rustle of leaves, and the way the sunlight filtered through the trees became his guides. As he journeyed deeper into the island, danger lurked around every corner. At one point he came across a snake, its hiss a clear warning. He froze, holding his breath, then carefully backed away, maintaining a respectful distance. Moments later, he found himself at the edge of a steep cliff, the ground crumbling beneath him. He retraced his steps, searching for a safer path, his heart racing with adrenaline. Just when he thought he would lose his way, a familiar scent reached him, the briny smell of the sea. He quickened his pace, following the scent, pushing through the last thicket of underbrush. The sound of crashing waves grew louder until, at last, he broke through the foliage and stood on the familiar beach where his journey had begun. Elias felt a wave of relief wash over him. He had succeeded, but more than that, he had come to understand the essence of the island and its inhabitants. As he stood there looking out over the water, he felt a connection to something greater than himself. Upon his return to the village, the community gathered, a mix of admiration and skepticism in their expressions. The leader stepped forward, her voice resonating with the weight of their shared experiences. "Elias," she began, "you have proven yourself in ways we did not anticipate. The tasks you have completed were not merely challenges but lessons that reveal one's heart and spirit." Before his departure, the leader beckoned Elias closer. "There's a reason we cherish our solitude," she said, her tone serious. She shared a sacred story of a pact made generations ago to protect the island's unique ecosystem, a bond with the land that transcended mere survival. "The outside world does not understand our connection to this place, the delicate balance we maintain." Elias listened intently, understanding the gravity of their secret. As she spoke, he realized that he was being entrusted with a profound truth, one that could easily be disregarded by those who did not appreciate its weight. He nodded solemnly, acknowledging the importance of what she had shared. As Elias prepared to leave, the islanders presented him with supplies, fresh fruits, water, and fish for his journey. They also gifted him a handcrafted pendant intricately designed and symbolizing the spirit of the island. "To remember us by," the leader said, her eyes glistening with emotion. Elias felt overwhelmed by their generosity, recognizing that these tokens represented not just gifts but a piece of their heart. With supplies secured, he returned to his boat. As he pushed off from the shore, the islanders gathered, waving and shouting their goodbyes. The wind caught the sails, and Elias's boat began its journey back to the known world, leaving behind the enigmatic island and its even more mysterious inhabitants. As the island's silhouette diminished on the horizon, Elias sat at the helm, lost in thought. The unexpected detour had turned into a life-altering experience. He pondered the lessons he had learned, the friendships he had forged, and the secret he now bore. The vast ocean around him felt like a metaphor for the endless possibilities life offered. Days later, as he anchored his boat at the familiar dock, the weight of his journey truly hit him. The bustling port, the chatter of townsfolk, and the scent of home-cooked meals filled the air. Stepping onto solid ground, he felt a profound gratitude, not just for his safe return, but for the unexpected detour that had enriched his life. Friends and fellow fishermen surrounded Elias, curious about his prolonged absence. They prodded him for tales of his journey, expecting thrilling stories of storms and sea monsters. But Elias, remembering his promise, kept the island's secret close to his heart. He shared tales of rough seas and equipment malfunctions, leaving out the magical interlude that had transformed his voyage. Days turned into weeks, but the memories of the island remained fresh in his mind. He found himself gazing at the horizon, lost in thoughts of the pristine beaches, dense forests, and the warm-hearted islanders. The pendant he wore around his neck served as a constant reminder of the lessons and love he had received from that hidden paradise. The Elias that returned was not the same man who had set out on that fateful fishing trip. He found joy in the little moments, the chirping of birds at dawn, the laughter of children playing, and the simple pleasure of a meal shared with loved ones. The island had taught him the value of community, connection, and the beauty of a life lived in harmony with nature. As the days passed, a new restlessness grew within him. The vast sea called out to him once more, promising new adventures. But this time he set out with a deeper understanding and respect for the mysteries it held. With the wind in his sails and the island's pendant close to his heart, Elias embarked on a new journey, forever changed by the island that remained hidden from the world. And so, Elias continued to sail, a seasoned fisherman with tales untold and a heart full of gratitude for the island that had changed his life forever. He would always remember the laughter of children, the warmth of the sun on his face, and the sense of belonging he had felt among those who chose to live apart from the chaos of the modern world. The island, a place of secrets and serenity, remained etched in his soul, a testament to the beauty of simplicity and the power of community. In his dreams, he often returned to that island, walking among the trees, feeling the soft sand beneath his feet, and listening to the laughter of the islanders. He knew that he had become a guardian of their secret, a keeper of the memories that would guide him through life. And as he sailed into the sunset, he felt a deep sense of fulfillment, knowing that the journey had only just begun.